step is to see if there's a GCF and to reduce it. In this equation, for example, there's an x in both terms, so you can take out the x and multiply it by what's left, which is an x minus 7. The next step is to identify the kind of polynomial you're working with because each can be factored a different way. There are several different kinds of polynomials, including the difference of squares. Difference of squares is essentially the difference of two squared terms. To solve the difference of squares, you take the square root of each term in the original equation. In one set of parentheses, you take the sum of those two terms, and then in the other set, you take the difference. In this case, the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 16 is 4, so you're left with x plus 4 times x minus 4. Next type is the sum or difference of cubes, and it's the sum or difference of two cubed terms. To solve these, first you open up two sets of parentheses, one with 2 terms and one with 3. Then use the acronym SOAP. The first sign is the same as the original equation, the second sign is the opposite, and the third is always going to be positive. So in this case, you have a plus, minus, plus. Then you take the cube root of your first term and put that in the first space in the parentheses. Then you cube root the second term and put it in the second space. Then you go back and you square the first term that you have. You put that in the first blank of the second parentheses, you square the second term, put that in the last blank, and then you multiply the first two terms together, and you put that in the middle. The third kind of polynomial is a trinomial. It has 3 terms and commonly has a quadratic, linear, and constant term. There are many different ways to solve trinomials, but a common method is the box method. To do this, you put the first term in the top left box, the third term in the bottom right box, and then you multiply them together. Then you need 2 numbers that multiply to get that number and add to get the middle term. In this case, 6 and 6 work, so you fill in 6x in each of the leftover boxes. Then you need to find the GCF of each column and row. Once you get these, you add those together, and those are your factors. In this case, the factors are x plus 6 times x plus 6. The final kind of polynomial is a 4-term polynomial. It has 4 terms with various exponents. 4-term polynomials can also be solved by using a box. You take the first term, which also has the highest exponential value, and you put it in the top left box. Then you put the second term in the top right box, the third term in the bottom left box, and the fourth term in the bottom right box. Then you take the greatest common factor of each row and column, and once you get those, you add them up. In this case, you're left with x plus 4 times x squared plus 7.